2, go.
Early, breakfast edition, brunch edition, depending on where you at in the world. 94 Feet of Life, courtesy of The Scene. Remember, THESCEN. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notifications. If you're on Facebook, 94 Feet of Life, and the new The Scene fan page. Saturday morning, cartoon edition, breakfast, brunch, getting some words in before another quadruple header. I think this is the best thing about this bubble situation is that it's a quadruple every day. Every day it's a quad. It's Big Shot, Germ, MJ in the building. We might have our main man Trav slide through here shortly. Fellas, let's talk about it, man. Where do we want to start today? Do we want to start with the Clippers waking up out their slumber? Do we want to talk about the most disappointing series, which we're gonna get, which in for my money, what y'all want to do? It's Saturday morning where everybody's feeling good, feeling great. What y'all want to do? Y'all go ahead.
Hold on. Let me sip my drink right quick with my pinky out.
Everybody get a sip.
I mean, we can start. I don't care, man. Look, back to back. It don't make a difference to me. We can start with the sauce not being free. I mean, because it wasn't free.
Hey,
I don't know.
We're gonna start there. So about 5 years ago, for those who are older heads in the Facebook group, man, just below me, MJ said, "You know something? You know Kawhi might be better than Paul George." This was back about 2015. And me, I was like, I don't know about that. Fast forward this thing 5 years later. That was very true. And we're going to talk about lowercase P and his struggles last night of the bubble. But Kawhi Leonard last night, goodness gracious. MJ, I'm going to start with you since you were the originator of this thought. Kawhi, talk to me. Talk to the people.
First off, you're not going to just say lowercase p and just move over that. Like
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
I'm not going to talk about that right now. This is a celebration of greatness.
Exactly.
So, cheers to you. All right, now, with that being said, Kawhi Leonard, what I saw in Kawhi Leonard was first and foremost, I saw his obvious defensive ability. But then what I noticed is, as a trainer, as a lab guy, I noticed, like, wow, he's really putting in the work on his game. And there was a lot of things that he had in his game that, was just transferable, and he did it easily. Like, his ability to rebound and have a knack for going to get the ball was easy. The ability to be able to make something out of nothing was easy. And most importantly, his savvy in the mid-range area is just going to carry over an Eddie style of game. I know we put caution tape around there, but what a lot of people don't realize is because of Kawhi, he's making us think twice about this mid-range shot. What y'all got to understand is in this league, now that you're able to zone, prime real estate is no longer the paint. It's going to be people waiting for you in the paint because you're allowed to zone. You're allowed to play in no man's land ever since they made that rule that there's a defensive 3 seconds. Ever since they changed that rule and you couldn't have to be glued to your man or it will be illegal defense, the new sweet spot was no longer the paint. The sweet spot was the mid-range. But because guys started really developing their three, now it became the three-pointer because people were hitting threes like the mid-range. But the thing about it is, just like in anything, you adjust. So now if I'm guarding somebody and I'm adjusting to them shooting a three, I don't care how good of you are as a shooter. Being able to shoot off a pump fake and do all of that from a three-point line is just a tough shot. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. Getting back to Kawhi, he just has a different type of dog with him. Like, he's going to take whatever you give him, and he's going to take it quick. Contrary to Paul George, who wants to take what he wants, even if it's not there. So you can tell a person that's playing chess versus a person that's just playing checkers and just want to be able to be known for what he wants to be known for. And it's no knock on Paul George. It's just once the playoffs come, everybody knows you. Everybody knows what you want to do. Everybody, if we're able to see it, even though we're lab guys, but if we're able to see it from our own comfort of Zoom, do you really think Rick Carlisle can't see it? Do you really think these other teams don't see it? They know that you want to play a guard-oriented type of game. They know that you want to be able to get most of your shots, from a standpoint in which of how a guard gets his shots. And it's being capitalized on. Jerm, what you think? We're gonna talk about Kawhi though. What you think?
First of all, we talked about the advanced analytics last week, and we really discussed a lot of things. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Listen, the way Kawhi was in that 3 to 10 foot area last night was masterful. Every shot that he wanted, he got. And not only that, he didn't particularly shoot well from the field. He shot well from 3 to 10 feet. He probably made 1 or 2 jumpers from outside of 10 to 16 feet, and maybe one 3-pointer. That's what he made for the whole night. But the majority of his points came in that 3 to 10 foot area with the fadeaway, the pull up, the turnaround jumper, just a nice little touch around the basket. Another thing, Maxi Kleber, can we please get him off Kawhi? Because that's not working. I don't understand what that is about, but we got to stop that.
Shout out Maxi Kleber though.
He trying, but the man can't do nothing. He can't move his feet fast enough.
Nah.
And then Dorian, listen, my guy Dorian. Shouts out to Dorian. He was out there trying to do his thing. We're going to call him Dorian Terrell from The Mask because he was out there trying to jack the swag of Mr. Jim Carrey himself, the original Mask, Mr. Claw, and big as a mask. And he got cut up. It was bad. Listen, we was in the group chat like, woo. Big Shot and Trav got audio of the night with this one. Hey, we broke it down with everything. It's just nothing you can do with a player who decides that he wants to take the shots that ultimately you don't want to give him. The missing shots you don't want to give him. There's nothing that nobody can do. If you double him, he made the passes out. They made jump shots. Shamet being in the starting lineup without Pat Bev is a very good adjustment.
That was a great adjustment.
Because Shamet gives them exactly what they need out of that guard position when you're playing with Paul George in the first place. I don't know what he was doing. We got shout out to Trill Ash Trez, shout out to Sweet Lou Will. Them folks was hooping last night, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Paul, okay, let's get to lowercase p.
Yes, please, let's do this because this
it's the classic statement of somebody who plays smaller than their size. It's the definition of it. Paul George and MJ hit on this. Is trying to prove you can do things that yes, you can do, but you don't have to. Paul George is a really good ball handler, but sometimes you don't have to prove it. Paul George, when he's on, has good touch around the basket, but you don't have to prove it. And he's done this 2 straight games. It's the extra dribble that's not needed. It's you get to the basket and you bring the ball down under the rim for whatever reason. And I just wish, and I said this in the group chat, I just wish when he got the ball in the half court, he would just go.
Right.
Just go. Don't wait on the defender. Don't pull off that Fran Fraschilla hostage dribble and let the defender catch up. Just get it and just go. I think it would be so much easier on him and on himself if he would just be decisive. If you miss a shot, cool. Turn the ball over, cool. But he just does extra things that aren't necessary. What's up? My boy Jay Ham has just slid in the building. You know, hey, I think we got every time zone covered. I think we got Eastern, we got Central, we got
now that West. We ain't got the West yet.
We almost, we need the West, but
where Les at?
I know we need Les, the king of the mountains. But that's my issue with Paul George. It's just unnecessary things and just not being decisive with his offense. That's why he's lower KP right now, because he's playing smaller than what he should be.
Hey, Big Shot, y'all said something that was real interesting last night. When we talked about catching the ball and just going, the premeditated moves and all that extra stuff, it made a lot of sense. But when we broke it down to him just playing smaller than his size, that in itself kind of took everything and put it into perspective. And I've been on his head ever since, because it don't make sense why you got Seth Curry picking your pockets like this. He ain't even the good Curry. That ain't even the good Curry. That ain't even the good Curry. Hey, look. I was hooping last night. Shouts out to Seth.
I had some curry salmon 2 days ago. That was some good. Go ahead.
Back to the curry salmon.
Yo, but at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that we got to make sure we understand more than anything else is that Paul George has been getting away with playing like this for too long. And this is a habit now. So now with it being a habit, it's going to be hard for him to break it. It's going to take him an off season for somebody new to get in his face and say, hey, we're not doing this no more. You need to be to the rim, and then you take 3-pointers in moderation. To the rim, he struggled from 10 to 16. He struggled from 3 to 10. He struggles 0 to 3, 0 to 3 feet. My dude, you struggling everywhere. So if the jumper not working, you basically just might as well go sit on the bench. He missed a lot of defensive assignments yesterday on rotations. That's how you can just tell he's not even engaged half the time he's playing. And then another thing that I'm noticing too, man, honestly, people are going to be like, Dag, Jern, why you on his head so hard? Because you can't play with number 2 and just be come on, man. You can't do my dude. Don't do him like that. Like,
tag me in, tag the right.
I got you. Go ahead, man. I can't say nothing else.
Tag the left end. All right, so I've been doing a good job of balancing out my counterparts, my better halves when it comes to this hoop talk, and I'm going to continue to do so. This is what I'm going to do. Instead of me going at Paul George's last 2 performances, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my basketball psychology hat and explain what's going on with his game, because everything has a why to it. Even if you don't know what it is, everything has a why to it. And I don't think Paul George actually know what it is, but I'm going to tell him what it is. Paul George suffers from basketball insecurity. Let me explain what basketball insecurity is. Back in the day, and I'll use an anecdote, back in the day, I used to be able to shoot a little bit. I was a shooting guard, I was undersized, and everybody just kept saying that I need to be point guard in order to make it or whatever. And because I wanted to make it, because I wanted the accolades required, I used to go out my way to show people that I could play point guard. But in the meanwhile of me playing point guard, my team needed me to shoot for us to win. So what eventually happened was, in the name of costing my team games, I'm showing I can play point guard though, but in the name of making the game harder, because somebody told me that I should be learning how to play this, and I'm too busy trying to show them that I can do it, I'm not doing what I do best. And a lot of times, players, it's not just as easy as just saying, why don't you just go to the basket? It's not as easy as you say, why don't you just impose your will and dominate? It's not that simple, because as of right now, Paul George is trying to prove to people that he could play a certain way. And with that, if your mind is focused on proving something and it trumps actually winning the game or doing what it takes to win the game, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb while everybody else is doing and staying in their bag. Kawhi never cared about style points. That move that he did, which was masterful in the corner on Finney Smith to get the and one, that wasn't a move that was premeditated. That was a setup. I see a guy reach, and I immediately and quickly counter on what he does and take what the game gives me. And guess what? It ended up being a highlight. Players who chase highlights, players who want to show that they can do certain things. Ronnie mentioned it. He almost like he want to show that he can handle so much that he's over dribbling. Players like that who are trying their best to show something usually end up exposing themselves because they're not just taking the read. But he has to get to the point where he's secure enough to say, you know what? Y'all know who I am. Like KD said, y'all know who I am. KD didn't have anything to prove against the Clippers when he said that statement. He knew he was going to get 30, not because he had something to prove, but because he knew he was KD. He knew exactly what spot to go to. He knew exactly what the defense was giving him, and he knew he was going to take that after he, reevaluated it, watched the film. Paul George has to get to that point. What shots are they giving you? What attacks are they giving you? What coverages are they putting on you? And how can you utilize your talent to exploit that, as opposed to you just try to be so hell-bent on showing everybody that you could play a certain type of way and be successful at
it. MJ, that's a great breakdown. And thinking about that as you were talking about, he does play like that. And he just has to, somebody's going to have to just get to him and say, look, dude, 2 dribbles, go. That's it, 2. 2 hard dribbles.
Jay Ham agree with you in the comments, man. He said a lot of basketball insecurity.
2 hard dribbles, go. You are 6'9". You almost got a 40-inch vert even after the injury. If you get up 2 hard dribbles and get to the highest point of your jumper, there is nobody on this planet that's going to block you. Nobody.
Not consistently, at least.
And he leans back on his shot, too. So naturally, just the trajectory of you jumping and leaning back, there's no way. No way.
So I like the Clippers' performance last night overall. Like you said, Shamet. We had a Shamet sighting. Montrez looked like he's finally kind of caught his wind. Lou Williams looked like he's kind of got back in the rhythm. So I think they're going to be okay. Now a team that's not going to be okay, also in that West, is Denver. I understand in the bubble, everybody is scoring ridiculous. Like 110 on defense is a good night in the bubble right now. But Denver, if you are just going to not try, which is what happened yesterday, I know lack of effort when I see it. If I'm Mike Malone, and MJ, you probably had this happen to you in high school, middle school. If you play bad after a game, you go to the small gym and run immediately afterwards. Or practice the next day, everybody on the line. If I'm Mike Malone, y'all gonna absolutely be on that line. Because what that was yesterday for a 1-1 series, we ain't talking about like a Brooklyn who know they going home soon, or Philadelphia who know they going home soon. For a 1-1 series, and for y'all to just come out there, in a sense, to just lay down. That was the worst performance I think I've seen in the bubble for the entire bubble, regular season playoff. Utah was playing air yesterday. That was air. So, Jern, I know I'm gonna send it to you. That's all I have to say about that. Denver, I didn't pick Denver to win the series, but they got to fix up because that was ridiculous yesterday.
I don't understand. First of all, Mike Conley got the Fred VanVleet powers coming on with he touched his newborn baby and now he ain't missing. Because that's crazy what he did yesterday. He was just pulling up from everywhere. Somebody called him Curry Conley or something like that yesterday. Hey, but the lefty style. And like overall, man, it's just when the Utah Jazz get good guard play, do you see them lose often? This is a good question to ask.
No.
When the Dancing Bird, shouts out to my guy Trav, is playing well, and they get good guard play, they damn near unbeatable. Because that means he's blocking shots, he's anchoring the defense, he's cleaning up on the defensive rebounds, and most importantly, he's finishing around the rim. Gortat's issue, not Gortat, Gobert's issue is that he tends to play tennis with the basketball around the rim. That's what his issue is. So when he's putting the ball in the hole, we got a different problem.
Yesterday it was Rudy Chamberlain.
Man, listen, it was all bad. It was Rudy all Chamberlain. Bad. And really what it shows that not only is the two matchups that they have that could be an advantage getting cooked, but everybody on the team got cooked.
Everybody. That's what I'm saying. That's a team thing yesterday. That was everybody. Point guards, shooting guards, front line. That entire team got dealt with yesterday. And I don't know what that was from Denver, but now you're down 2-1. Don't do that again.
Listen.
Don't do that again.
This is Chestnut Checkers, and I'm going to tell you exactly what Denver did. Going into the game, their focus was Donovan Mitchell cannot have a big game. He hit us for 50 the first time, 30 the second time. So we're going to focus on Donovan Mitchell. Mm-hmm. What they got to focus on is helping the helper once Donovan Mitchell gets the ball out. What they forgot to focus on is if you're going to stay at home on shooters, you need to make sure that your switch is immaculate enough to bump Rudy Gobert before he gets within 2 to 3 feet of the basket. Because once he's 2 to 3 feet away from the basket, it's over. Then when you decide, Rudy Gobert is actually finishing everything, let me go ahead and help the corner, then you got to help the helper, in which they would do it once. But Utah, having so much chemistry with each other, they had no problem with moving it again and again and again until they got their shot. And what Denver was not used to was they were not used to that third kick out, because the first 2 games, it was pretty much Donovan Mitchell going crazy. It was pretty much Jordan Clarkson going crazy. So now you got Mike Conley, which I told people he was going to be the key to Donovan Mitchell's maturity, because you get the best of both worlds with him, because he's a true point guard who will hang 30 on your head. You get the best of both worlds. So when they had Rubio, you knew he wasn't trying to get 30. If he did, it was an anomaly, and you shouldn't take it serious. With Conley, he could easily do what he just did this game again and again and again if it's his read. So what happens if you're Denver now is, if you're Denver, you have to communicate more on defense. If you're Denver, you have to make effort plays. If you're Denver, you're going to have to now anticipate the extra passes, in addition to making sure that when Donovan Mitchell drives, you keep him in front of you. Because once again, our magical rule, 3 to 10 feet, if you stay in front and you contest and they have to shoot over you, more than likely it's going to be a low percentage shot, because people are used to taking off by the time they get to the 8 to 7 foot range. Nobody's pulling up on balance with the exception of Kawhi Leonard. So we're looking at this right now and we're breaking this down. I think it was just lack of defensive execution on Denver's end, because they didn't know Utah can move the ball like that.
And shout out to my man. We clowned him about his extensions early in the bubble, but shout out to Jordan Clarkson. A lot of times people like to admit they're wrong about stuff. This is on tape. I thought the Jordan Clarkson experience was going to end at some point. It is clearly not going to end anytime soon. He has played unbelievably well. And he was on a little roll pre-bubble, but since the bubble has happened, he has been great. So shout out to Jordan Clarkson, man. Credit where it's due.
You know what Jordan Clarkson is? Jordan Clarkson is the Louisianas in the 5-star restaurant. They sell them when you go to a 5-star restaurant, you order this food in which, all of these culinary art specialists know how to put the just amount of salt, just amount of pepper, just amount of butter. And they put all of these meals together in order to just make your palate, go crazy. But if you're from where I'm from, sometimes it's just not enough. You need to put that kick to it. You need to put that zing to it. You need that Louisiana. And I know they don't got it. At best, you go get some Tabasco sauce. But Jordan Clarkson is the Louisiana's in your date's purse, in which you know she's a keeper if she got that in her purse on tap. That's what Jordan Clarkson is. Because when in doubt, in their office, if you notice, as soon as he get in, they just let him go crazy. They don't even try to stop him. They don't try to say, hey, maybe you can make this kicker. No, they just like, do what you do. We will play around you. And what that does is now that gives you an unpredictableness in their offense, because now you don't know what to guard. Because this dude literally went in the game and shot 4 times straight miss and then hit his 5th one. But you need that, though, because eventually what Denver had to do was they're like, okay, we can't let this dude get 26 on us again. So they start keying in on him. And you know what he did? He only had 11, but he had 5 assists. And I'm pretty sure he had about 3 hockey assists, too. Chestnut checkers. But yeah, he the Louisianas.
He's definitely Louisiana. I will give him all of his praise because he's doing it. He's moved out of, because Jordan was a looter and a riot for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Jordan could get you 20 and we lose by 30. But now his game has evolved past that. So shout out to him.
Now, what we learned is Jordan is not only a looter and a riot, but Jordan will loot in a bank. He'll loot at your man's house. He'll loot your mama's house. He gonna loot wherever. That's what we learned about. He's just a looter. Yeah. And I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, he loot everywhere.
Yeah.
Looter's gonna loot.
Looter's gonna loot. All right, flip it over to the East. Another one. This is gonna be a pseudo apology. Because I was never a believer in this theory that these two dudes shouldn't be together, that, you know, Joel and Ben shouldn't be together. I've never really been on that wave.
Right.
What I didn't think, this is where I think the pseudo apology comes in. I didn't realize how bad they actually need Ben. Like, Ben is a great all-around player, don't get me wrong. But I didn't think it was this much. The reliance was this heavy. Philadelphia can't get into anything. They can't get into anything. And it's not that Boston's playing this superior defense. Without Ben, their playmaking goes from 10 to 2. And Joel is getting hard buckets. And a lot of that is because Ben is not there to set that table. So Ben, this is a pseudo apology to you from me. Germ, I'm gonna kick this over to you. Without Ben, it's rough. It's absolutely rough.
You know what we seeing? First of all, we seeing Joel versus everybody. I don't complain about officiating, but I don't like some of the foul calls that I've been seeing him get. They've been putting on him. It was one play on the screen where he didn't even move, and they called him for an offensive foul. And I was like, damn, can he get some help somewhere? Hey, ref, bail him out. He already playing 1-on-5. Like, literally. Then Al Horford, what the hell are you doing? Like, they were up 1 point, right? And that 1 point in that sequence, after that sequence, the game just went to shit. They up 1 point, and Al Horford gets the ball in the corner. Shoot it back to the wing and get around so we can get back into the process. This joker took a 3. Sir, who gave you the green light to shoot a 3 with that ugly ass jumper? I'm sick of this, man. Y'all got me out here looking like a fool. And I only picked Philadelphia to win because I felt the process was going to be enough. This man working so hard in the second half, he can't make a bucket. He working so hard in the first half just to keep him in the game. And you notice they've been in the game every first half.
Yeah.
It's that third quarter where it's just like, you know what? My back is broken. What was it, a vertebrae? Spinal. It's over with. Like, Joel is fighting. He's fighting for his all his life. He had to fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. And then it don't make it no better. Shake Milton. Listen, when MJ said this, it killed me. He said, "Shake Milton, he's shaky." I said, "Man, look, this is bad." They blitz him coming off a screen and roll, and the first time they blitz him in the whole game, it's going the other way for a layup. I'm just like,
you are, and I'm gonna send this over to MJ. You just can't. You're finishing games with Shake Milton and Alec Burks.
Tobias Harris, bro, what are you doing? He can't make a bunny.
Hey, Tobias,
or a 3-pointer.
All right, let's tag MJ because anytime MJ get prayer hands, he ready. So tag.
Oh, okay. Nah, I was listening. I was enjoying you guys' take on it. I mean, I think this is a relatively simple series now that we actually see the cat is out the bag. This is just a matter of one team having more hoopers than the other. This is what happens when you build a team specifically around two guys in which you do nothing but fill spots with guys who fill a specific role. And one of those guys go down. Now you're expecting a guy who only knows this role to be a hooper at this level, because all of them are hoopers. So don't get it twisted. But you're expecting them to be something that they're not at this level. So now Shake Milton has fifth in the NBA in 3-point percentage. He has made a living and has actually started and began his career with Philly as a spot-up shooter, which is what they needed when Ben was in the game. When it was Ben and Joel, they needed people to space the floor. So you don't get a name like Shake Milton and you don't got no handle. So I don't want people to take that away from me either. But what does happen is when you work on a certain element of your game in order to make sure that you eat and put food on your family's table, and they're saying this is all we need you to do, and you don't go above and beyond and prepare and make sure that you're ready just in case they need you to do something else, this is what happens. I'm pretty sure Shake Milton's going to go into the lab this offseason, work on his handle again, get back to, some combinations. So just in case that happens again, I think he'll be ready. But unlike you guys, I'm not taking I'm putting accountability on Embiid for this reason and this reason only. At some point, you got to get in the best shape of your life, dude. At some point. Yeah. Like, I can't keep saying, well, Joel need help. He's getting tired in the third quarter. If he's getting tired, whose fault is that?
That is true.
Whose fault is that?
Suicides and salads.
You said it, but you're doing all of the things right as far as developing your skill. And I think you've gotten in better shape. I just really don't think, he's a young dude. You got to think him and Ben Simmons came into Philly during their tank era. So they have a coach in which they lost a lot of games with, in which a lot of habits have been accepted and deemed as okay because they trying to stock up on lottery picks. Now y'all turn that into a winning culture, and it just doesn't happen overnight like that, which is why I stated that they need a new voice in there who's going to say, yo, look, this is what I need for you to do in order for us to win. Look, this is your role. GM, give me some hoopers. I need a team full of hoopers. Because right now, if we look at Boston, and I tip my hat to them, it's hoopers on hoopers on hoopers. Jason Tatum getting foul trouble. No problem. Jaylen Brown step up. Oh, Jaylen Brown broke? No problem. Kemba Walker step up. Oh, Kemba Walker ain't feeling it right now? No problem. Anis Kanter step up. Like, it's just another one after another one. And Gordon Hayward is even hurt. They just keep throwing hoopers and hoopers and hoopers at you. And also, too, shouts out to Marcus Smart, but just making hoop plays.
Yeah.
He makes plays. Y'all saw me get really frustrated with him, but now I understand what him and Brad Stevens' agreement is unspokenly.
Tell the people what the agreement is.
All right, so I don't know this for sure. I'm not in their locker room, and I don't have any sources like Chris Broussard. But I'm able to see certain things and just kind of understand them because I've been in locker rooms before at a pretty high level, college level. And with Marcus Smart is the type of dude that you need to win a championship, but he's also the type of dude you cannot control. Marcus Smart is going to do what Marcus Smart wants to do. So the best thing you could do with Marcus Smart, a guy like that, is negotiate and compromise with him and come to a medium. So Marcus Smart is going to shoot that three. I don't give a fuck if he's shooting 10%. He's going to shoot the three. Okay, fine. So what it looks like to me is I think Brad Stevens said, okay, go ahead and shoot the open three or shoot a three if you want, but at least give me a couple of assists, at least make some defensive plays. And then, you know, that will balance out the three-point shooting. So if you give me a couple of steals or take a couple of charges or a couple of rebounds, then yeah, I'll let you shoot 2 or 3 threes again. And it eventually turns to 4 or 5 because he can't help himself. But as long as he's making winning plays, he's no longer taking 11 shots a game. So I credit him for that. He's going to take about 5 or 6, but he's doing a lot of winning plays. But it's just certain people, they are who they are. So I apologize for, you know, trying to turn him into an analytic guy because he's not going to ever do that. He's going to be him. And he's going to take that three, whether y'all like it or not, whether I like it or not. So I'm just going to embrace it. Keep shooting, Marcus. Fucking
Marcus got a little bit of Lance Stevenson. Where some dudes are just, they the rebels.
You dance.
They are the rebels. They the rebels, the Cavaliers. They not conforming. So that makes sense. And Boston, Toronto is going to be interesting. I think that's going to end up being a dogfight. But we'll talk about that. Shout out Trav. Trav jumped in. We're going to have Trav join us in a second. But fellas, the basketball gods giveth, the basketball guys taketh away. We had a preview show. Jerm and I specifically, Trav too, we were so excited about Indiana, Miami, and Houston, Oklahoma City.
Man,
all three of them.
Sign me up.
Excited. Sign me up. Super excited. But the basketball guy said, nope.
Mm-hmm.
We give it, we take it away.
That wasn't the basketball guys. That wasn't no basketball guys. That was Houston and Miami. That wasn't no basketball.
Yeah, Houston, Miami. Okay, so
they got the broom, man. They got the brooms already on deck.
So as we're taping this, both series are 2-0. The 2 Sign Me Up series are 2-0 going this Saturday. Game 3 today. Indiana, I think, is really simple. You got too much good, nothing great. A lot of good. There's lots of good things about Indiana, but ain't none of it great. And you just cannot win playoff series with nothing great. When there's really nothing you do that's great, hard to win. Houston, Oklahoma City, I'm going to have Trav jump on here. I think this is a case where the youth, even though this is a bubble situation, there's no fans, this is still the first time through the playoffs for most of that team. And as much savvy and experience as Chris Paul has, you just can't make SGA and Schroeder and Darius Bazley and Terrence Ferguson. Like, they are rolling out a really young team after you get outside of Chris Paul. And I think Houston is too tough, too much know-how, too much knowledge.
So much.
And unfortunately, I think
where my lab hat at?
Oklahoma City might be able to get one more game, but I think this is going to be done in short order. Trav, while Jeremy's getting his lab hat together, what you think?
I'm just going to get my lab coat.
Hey, man, I actually picked Oklahoma City. I don't know why. I just did, just to make sure I just did a god-awful pick. I got to have one. That was that one for me. I'm not finna stay on here too long because I got to go back to work. But I'm finna make my coming in here short and simple. Marcus Smart still need to know his role. Been taken away from them folks' shots. Still know your role. And this man in my background right here,
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard cold, dog. He cold. He cold. He cold. Leave that man alone. Let that man be. Because when you wake up a monster like that, there's nothing you can do about it. He gonna bully you. He gonna finesse you. And he gonna cross you. He disappeared. He disappeared and then came back in that man's chest with the and one, man. Y'all seen that. Y'all know how the referee, when that little kid, when he hesitated, and that man says, that's what I did. Again, I'm not going to stay on here too long, man, because I got some business I got to take care of, but I had to get on here to say that again, Marcus Smart, stop trying to take 11 shots. 6 minimum, man. 6 minimum. 6 minimum. Kawhi Leonard cold, dog. Miami and Houston finna break out the brooms. Philly got to reconstruct. And everybody else got to play, man. Everybody else just got to play to me. So, again, I ain't going to stay on too long. Just had to get on there to say that. I'm going to get up with you guys later, man. Holla. It's your boy.
Shout out to the lab gloves. Shout out to the gloves.
The glove. The gloves.
Yeah. Hey,
Germ is back.
The lab coat?
Yeah, Germ is back.
Wardrobe 99s.
change.
I'm the hoodie Germ.
Germ, the Sign Me Up series. What's going wrong now?
Let's start with OKC. First of all, calling out SGA. I'm gonna need for you to be aggressive. What I see here is James Harden versus LeBron James in 2012. He's just not being aggressive. He getting bullied. Every time James Harden is in front of him, the sauce is free because he's getting wherever he want on the floor. Unacceptable. All the defense you done played all season, all of the things that we've been able to accomplish this season, and this is how you decide you want to play, it's disrespectful. I can't work under these conditions. Number two, Billy Donovan. We got to make some adjustments somewhere. You see the hoodie. Ball you. We're gonna do this the right way. I don't see anybody on the OKC roster besides Chris Paul that's hungry.
Oh.
I don't see nobody hustling besides Steven Adams, and that's the obvious person. And I see a whole bunch of humility once James Harden started dribbling. And when I say humility, I mean that means this boop, 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 boop. Uh-oh. I don't want none of this. I don't want none of this. They want no problems. Que paso? No problem. No. I don't like it. Dennis Schroeder, stop shooting that broke shit. You shoot another jumper and you doing some suicides. You killing us. You killing me, Petey. Then we got my guy Dort. My guy Dort is out there hooping on defense. He is doing everything human. He the only person who don't look scared to guard James Harden. What are we doing? We're not switching. They're getting Houston is getting easy baskets and they're making threes at will. How the hell are you gonna beat Houston if they making easy baskets and they're making threes at will?
That's what they want.
Ben McLemore is literally revitalizing his career off OKC right now as we speak. That man about to get another he about to get 30 mil just off OKC alone.
Not 30.
30. 30. Oh, hey, 40. 40. And let me make sure I say this. Chris Paul ain't even played well for me to even give him a pass. The only person who ain't scared is Gallo. Only people who ain't scared is the front court. And that's Gallo and that's Steven Adams. All them guards for Oklahoma City, pack them up and just tell them to come back next year. It's over with. Houston's too good for them right now. Eric Gordon can't be guarded. He's just out there. If he's sunning everybody who step in front of him. I mean, come on, bro. Stop. I'm not saying he ain't a nice player. We knew Eric Gordon was nice when he came from Indiana. We knew that. We knew what it was. But y'all just letting this man party in the lane like he Tony Parker. That man in there like he in the club. He in there like, hey, lay up. That man in there like that. No, you can't do that.
Oh man.
Hey, it's over in 4. It's over in 4. If they win a game, 4 for 4. 4 for 4. 4 for 4 for 4. It's over with. 4. We're gonna have a lot of foes. We're gonna have a lot of foes this year.
Jeez.
We got 4. Listen, we got 8 series, right? 4 for 4. 4 going 4. And then the 2 sign me up series is going 4. The 2-7 in the East is going 4. The 3-6 in the East is going 4. It's just over with. Indiana, I'm sorry, Malcolm Brogdon, too much money. I don't know. I don't know what y'all doing. Look, the lab coat don't even need to be on for Indiana. Big Shot covered it. It's plain and simple, plain as day. Oladipo's out of control. Oladipo is a B-list player for me, in my opinion. He's not an A-list player, so I don't know why we hyping him up like he's an A-list player. Shouts out to the internet. I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all need to stop this. We got to stop this immediately. TJ Warren, he got in front of Jimmy Butler. Now he can't make a jumper. I don't know what it is. Jimmy out here looking like he came from playing prison ball, and I guess he got a little nervous. He out there with the scraggly beard, scraggly mustache, and everything. It's just looking bad out here, y'all. The sign me up series, sign me the hell out. I'm finished. I'm through. Sorry about the antics.
No, you good. What's up with what's that Microsoft sound when you turn the computer off and go dum 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 dum? That's what these series are.
Yeah.
That's the
Long
window.
ago.
Do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So no, but as far as OKC go, OKC overachieved. Period. They just overachieved, and they ran into something that they was not ready for as a team. Yeah, you got players who've been there before. Yeah, you have individuals who, want it, but it's the difference between wanting it and actually knowing what it takes and putting the actual, work and mental preparation in to get it. What I'm saying with OKC is Chris Paul reminds me of an over-the-hill fighter who may have lost, just a step or two, in which in his prime, if he would have saw like openness, he would have took it, hit it, and had enough confidence to move out the way, or even if he got hit, he could take it. But then, once fighters get over the hill, those same shots, they're not taking anymore because they're afraid if they get connected, their chin can't take it and they'll fall. So now you see a really passive fighter. With CP3, there's a lot of athleticism out there in Houston. It's a lot of strength. It's a lot of athleticism. It's a lot of speed. And he could do it by himself, but if you're going to have two people that can't shoot on your wings on the floor at that whole time, he has no room to operate. So, yeah, I'm sure he wants to shoot those shots, but you can sag off on SGA. You can sag off on Schroeder. The only person that is hit is Gallinari, which obviously he's the only one that can shoot a perimeter shot. And Steven Adams is just 6 inches bigger than everybody on the floor. So the real problem is you got two guys that cannot make those corner shots that Chris Paul needs to in order to open him up and free him. So you really can't do anything. That's a have-not situation. As far as Indiana Miami goes, I told y'all about this when I was like, this is not what which I think it's going to be. It's two same teams that's pretty much playing against each other. And it's just going to be a matter of who play harder. And usually when you run into a series like that in which whoever play harder win, they're not as entertaining as you think. I thought it was going to be some less scoring involved. There is more scoring than I expected, but that's because, Indiana, once again, they're in the same boat as OKC. They're not as ready as we thought they were. I think they overachieved considering all of the injuries, but, it's time to turn off the lights.
And light a candle.
Turn them off!
Let me down. Oh. It's over with. Hey, and MJ, you said something else real quick. I'm gonna touch on. Then we're gonna go to the 1 and 8. The strength. Chris Paul can't bully none of the people on the court when it comes down to getting past him. We've actually even seen offensive fouls from him getting to the hole. So I think that changes the dynamic again. But bruh, SGA and Schroeder have played terrible. Even with SGA having his career high the other day, I still feel like it's a lot of plays being left on the floor because of his inability to shoot the jumper consistently. Being able to handle the ball is one thing that I say that you have to be able to do. Being able to make a 15-foot shot though is very, very close second. Handles let you get anywhere you want, but a 15-footer opens up the whole floor. And that's just him and Schroeder don't have it. They got the handle, but they ain't got the 15-footer. And man, and Schroeder, every time he arches back, every time he arches back and do that little jumper, I'll be ready to slap him upside his head.
With Rondo. That's Jeremy Rondo.
Hey, man.
Jeremy Rondo.
That's funny, man. Oh my God. Oh man.
All right, let's get to these 1 verse 8s. I think Orlando, they caught Milwaukee sleeping game 1. I think reality has set in. So even though that's 1-1, I don't know if that needs a whole lot of attention. I think Milwaukee's gonna put the Beats by Dre on Orlando. I think this will be a gentleman's sweep. So y'all can give that some attention. But let's get to the series that the most talked about 1-8 series in the history of basketball.
Of course.
Portland and the Lakers. I think if the Lakers just say, you know what, we just gonna grind these dudes out. We're gonna slow the game down like they did in game 2. And we just gonna pound the ball inside. If they just say we just gonna do this over and over and over again, I think Portland eventually will wilt. But there's the flip side of this, and MJ and Jerm, feel free to step in. The Lakers guard, I hate the Lakers guards. In hate, we don't mean hate as people. But in basketball, hate. I can't stand the Lakers guards. It's just this mismatch of just people that I don't know if it all makes complete sense, but AD, LeBron are so great that I guess it kind of doesn't really matter. So
they the guards. I'm telling you, they the guards.
They are the guards. So game 3 today, series even at 1. Jerm, you picked Portland to begin with this. I'm not trying to put you on blast.
Oh, no.
Are you still good with this pick as of today?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna tell you why. Because what happens in these situations is, first of all, Portland been playing 2 months of basketball, it feels like, and they've been playing flawless for 2 months. But they had no margin of error. So even in the Boston game, even in the game against the Clippers when Dame missed the 2 free throws, we talking about a team putting up 120 points a game. What we seen was a bad shooting night. What we seen was just one of them nights that you were going to see from every team in the NBA occasionally.
They would do. They would do for one.
They listen, they probably going to lose tonight. I'm going to be real with y'all. They may lose 2 in a row. But you know what happens after a team like that lose 2 in a row? They may be good for another week. That's all you can ask for in a playoff series. We just need to put together 4 games, which is a week of basketball in which we can play our best basketball. Portland can win in different ways. The Lakers want to make the game muddy because obviously the Lakers don't know if they're going to score 100 points every game. That's the contract and styles here. If the Lakers make the game like it was in game 1, they're going to have a chance to win. But by Anthony Davis being the most active player on the floor, that causes a lot of problems because he is still the most gifted player on the floor. I don't think there's really a question on who's the most gifted player or who's the most talented player on the floor for the Lakers and for the Blazers. It's clearly Anthony Davis. If this is just a simple situation where you see the best player on the floor assert himself, Whiteside is not quick enough to guard him when he decides he want to face up and go around him, and neither is Nurkic. It's just really that simple. This is where Zach Collins comes into play. The young kid that they have, Wendell, he's not playing terrible. What he's playing against is a veteran player who he's getting a lot of veteran calls against him. So it's not going, he's getting a lot of foul calls. That's not saying he's not giving good energy. It's just saying he's doing the things that he's supposed to do. But what I say more than anything is I think Portland loses tonight, but I think the next 3 games they have an opportunity to take a week and really go at the Lakers after being down 2-1. So I still got Portland at 6. I think the guard play for Portland, just they have to have a bad night. I mean, we sitting here watching Dame for two months hitting 40-foot threes. Eventually, he's not gonna hit the 40-foot three for a couple of games. He's gonna have to start attacking the basket a little bit more. And guess what happens? We've seen it in game 2. He can attack the basket at will. So it's not like, listen, when you go down amongst the trees, occasionally a branch gonna swat you. It's gonna happen. That's part of the game. And Anthony Davis caught him. But at the end of the day, Dame is still Dame. He's still the 3rd best player on the court. We're not going to disrespect LeBron and AD like that. No. My only issue with them is CJ McCullough. I need him to be a little bit more efficient and effective in certain stretches. 4th quarter, game 1, that's what I need from him. Not first 3 quarters in game 2. I don't need that. You're making a couple jumpers, but you're doing 50 moves just to get, and I know that's his game. I know it. But bro, his back gonna be really broken messing around with the Lakers guards like that because they're all bigger than him. And all it's gonna take is one off-balance situation and CJ gonna be out for the series. So we got to make sure we look at those things. I'm sorry it takes so long, MJ. I'm gonna let you in, but
no.
Like I said, man, this is a good chess match because it's guards versus bad guards and a front court versus a solid front court. It's just a lot of things that the Lakers and the Blazers have that are similar, except for guards. And that's the reason why I'm picking the Blazers, is because of the guards. If the Lakers make it through, though, I'm not gonna be mad because we get to see them versus Houston,
which would be all types of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, sign me up for that. Go ahead, MJ.
No, hey, look, man, you don't gotta apologize to me, man. My mother taught me a long time ago, when she's cooking, don't go in there check on it. Let her cook. So you ain't gotta worry about it. As far as Portland and the Lakers go, unfortunately, basketball is not like a samurai movie. It's not like a martial arts movie where the good guy beat up like 50 different people before he could even get to the boss, and they end up beating the boss ass too. It don't work that way in basketball. And that's pretty much what Portland went through. Portland beat the hell out of everybody just to get to this point. And now they're looking at the number 1 seed, who I'm not going to say is the boss because I don't know if they're going to come out or not. But you got to see the number 1 seed, who has literally just been on 5 since they got the bubble. They've been chilling. They just been coasting. They got their number 1 seed. They locked it up. LeBron wasn't even playing. So a part of the first game when they lost, I thought it was rust on their end. I also thought it was momentum of having a high streak for Portland. Game 2, I think this is one of them situations where, fatigue set in. I've always worried about in this series, at some point the size is going to be a factor because y'all not 100% right now. Y'all just not. You can't tell me y'all 100% after all that y'all had to do in this bubble to get. Right. And Damian Lillard, dislocated a finger or something. I know he's gonna play and he ain't gonna have any excuse. He probably might even shoot better because that's gonna help him hyper zone a little bit more to focus on his technique. But yeah, nobody's hurt, everybody's wounded. This is how it looks. This is how it looks when you're in the game. And just like on the Batman Begins, Rasul said, death is not considerate. This game is not considerate. It don't care about you. Now, since nobody decided on this platform to address the elephant in the room, I guess I will, in taking the Milwaukee and Magic series on.
Oh, I can take them on, but I'm going to let you go first.
Go ahead. You got it.
Mine's going to be quick. Either y'all make it to the finals or Giannis going to Golden State. Okay, you can go ahead.
Let me just say this. Let me say something. Y'all do realize that the Magic lost the game in the first quarter in game 2 by scoring 13 points. That's where they lost the game. The problem is that Vucevic matchup is a issue. Because that man in the third quarter, man, what? Can we put him on a team? Can we put him on a good team for once? Hey, Steve, why don't you trade Zubac for him?
Germ.
Yes.
The problem is Golden State got the number 2 pick.
I know. I think that, man. Look, we're gonna talk about that too. We gotta talk about that too. Hold on, we gotta talk about that too. Because that do need to be that we need to address this. We need to address this now. But all together, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Giannis still missing bunnies. Chris Middleton didn't even show up. Like, he was there, he was present to mind, but he was absent as far as play on the court. I mean, he was the ghost of Chris Middleton. I don't know what's going on. The fact is, man, the Bucks make my ass itch. We're just gonna make it real simple. They just make my ass itch.
The Bucks will cruise to this series because I just don't think
Orlando's
just not very. Orlando's not very.
They don't have enough.
But when we get to this second round, and they got to play the 305, who absolutely ain't gonna give ground on anything.
Ooh,
let y'all get out that series.
Listen, what?
Let Milwaukee not make it out that second round.
I don't think they are. I didn't pick them to get out the second round.
Let them not make it out that second round and see how Giannis start talking in them interviews after the fact. He's gonna say a lot of I'm gonna weigh my options, I'm gonna speak with my family. He's gonna say a lot of that. You know what that translates to. I'm leaving this bitch. That's what that translates to. Every time somebody say I'm gonna weigh my options and speak it up with my family, 94% of the time they going to a better situation.
Yeah, the options are: am I gonna use U-Haul or United Van Lines to move out this house? That's the options.
Yo, no, not like that. Not like that. Not like that.
But yeah, Milwaukee, I reiterate this point, man. They just remind me of the LeBron Cleveland team. They are, to me, it's the exact. They are the 09 Cavaliers. It's LeBron and a bunch of dudes, and we win 60-something games. Milwaukee is Giannis and a bunch of dudes, and we win all these games, and then we get to these playoffs, and somebody gets a chance to look at us 5-6 times in a row. So,
you know what? Let's have some fun here. I ain't had no fun.
Hold on one second. Shouts out to Trav. I just want Trav to be recognized. I just want Trav to be recognized here on this platform.
I'm just happy to be here to play ball. I just want to win the championship.
That's gonna be a soundbite forever.
Forever. Yo, let me just say this. I do not disagree with what you said, though, MJ. I think it's gonna be time. I mean, it's gonna be hit the road. We're gonna be singing Ray Charles because it's not gonna be none of that extra. At this stage, you see that Chris Middleton is not a good second fiddle to you. He's not getting you anywhere. You see that George Hill and Eric Bledsoe, as much money as they just pay Eric Bledsoe, we finally got him to play decent in game 2. It's too much going on. Go ahead. Let's have some fun. Let's do it.
Let's have some fun. This is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to look back at the last 5 60-win teams that never made the finals and see what happened to those teams' rosters. We're going to include that Atlanta team with Budenholzer. Going to include that Toronto team that had DeRozan. Did they ever win 60 games? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. That Toronto team with DeRozan. That Atlanta team with Budenholzer. We already talked about that Cleveland team with Brown that did in 08 and 09 and 010.
No, it was 8 and 9 because
the 08 and the 08
was the number 1 seed in the West that year. The Cleveland was the number 1 seed in the East that year, and then the next year
because we were supposed to get the puppets. Yeah,
LeBron,
but
But even in 2010, they were still the number 1 seed. So put that
Absolutely.
out there.
Yeah.
They were still the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they lost to Boston.
They lost to Boston. So
all 3 years. Yep.
So we'll even throw that team in. We'll even throw that team in because they was the number 1 seed. So I just named you 5 teams in which they won 60 games and didn't make it to the finals. Let's look at what happened to those Rockstars the following year. Toronto, Messi came in, traded away DeMar DeRozan. Made some other trades, ended up getting to a championship. The Atlanta team blew the shit the fuck up. That Cleveland team, they tried 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, Brown out. It's on, I mean,
yeah.
The history is saying this. Hopefully history won't repeat itself because once again, I have no problem with Giannis staying on Milwaukee.
I would like to see him stay, but
I have no problem with it. I just know how this works. I know how this works. I know I've been around too long watching this. It's only so much a dude who is putting so much into the game, dominating, only to get to a certain level in which he knows he doesn't have enough dogs behind him to fight this war. And he just don't. And then next year, let's be real. Next year, even though Brooklyn got put out, we didn't talk about Brooklyn and Toronto because there's really nothing to talk about. We know what it is. But next year, Brooklyn, before they even make a trade, because I think they're going to probably make some trades that end up getting Bradley Beal. Let's say they don't even make a trade. You have a roster that you're with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, DJ off the bench, DeAndre Jordan, or DJ will probably start because that's the reason why dude got fired in the first place, because he wouldn't start DJ. Joe Harris, who's not missing much of anything. All of these dudes can stay on the team and it won't really be that big of a salary problem. That team already on paper is in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's just gonna depend on what Toronto or Boston do. But they're in the Eastern. I'm writing them in already. As long as they don't get injured, I'm writing them in. And even if Kyrie gets injured, they have guards and enough for KD to be able to still do what he does and still get him there. And nobody's going to Milwaukee, unfortunately. They're not getting free agents. How many free agents Milwaukee got again?
Yeah, this is
George
I
Hill.
think. Yeah, this is. The more I think about it, I think you're right. I think this decides what happens. I think if this is a second round and out, it gets real bleak. It gets very bleak.
I think if the Magic win one more game, it don't matter what happened.
They shouldn't win another game. If this goes 6 or 7, I'll be really disappointed in Milwaukee because there's no way this should be.
They don't get to the finals.
This should not be
the finals. I don't know how they're gonna do it. They better get to the finals if they want to keep the Greek free. I'm telling you, they better get to that finals because at least then you take another step. He might still leave after they get to the finals, but at least then you take a next step and you can preach that optimism to him. Right now,
do you realize how hard Giannis is working right now?
Yeah.
That man got. You remember the Super Soakers that used to have the backpacks on them? They used to run around the hood and squirt, you know, when we had the water gun fight. That man carrying 2 of those on his back with the water gun and the whole state of the franchise on his back.
He carrying
got so much luggage.
Everybody else got water balloons and they just throwing them at him.
This man got the double backpack on with carrying everybody else's weight too. It just don't make sense. And if Miami is a team that presents too many problems for them, because Miami is better defensively than Orlando is. This is what the most scary part about this is. They make a better wall than Orlando does. So not only that, when he gets to the hole against Bam, Bam is that tree branch that I was just talking about. That's gonna block you That's gonna whack you a couple times. Kelly Olynyk is pretty damn mobile for 7 feet. They got a lot of good pieces, man.
Jerm, you don't even got to go that in detail. I'm gonna answer a simple question. Besides Giannis' matchup, where do Milwaukee have a favorable matchup at?
You was looking for something?
I'll wait.
I know you. If you was looking for something, you need to stop looking because there ain't nothing to look for. They ain't got no matchup nowhere because Eric Bledsoe can't guard Dragon.
Brook Lopez. Bam is going to torture Brook Lopez. That is going to actually be six. That is going to be a bad look. He's going to torture that boy. Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton. You see what Jimmy already doing with TJ, the Bubble King.
Yeah.
Trav gonna say that Orlando has the home court advantage though. Trav.
Hey, look. Ain't no whole court.
Trav Wilder.
Hey man, Trav funny, man. Yo, but I'm just saying this now, man. Orlando, I'm gonna tell y'all something funny. I think Orlando may get another game out of this series.
They better not.
And you know why I think that?
They better not.
I'm with y'all. We said this should have been a 4 for 4. Should have been 4. How you come out flat? How you come out flat against a team that got one good player on it, technically? One all-star. Vucevic averaged 20 a game. Vucevic came out and put 35 on them folks with 14 boards.
Hey,
Go ahead.
As you saying that though, you're pretty much just saying all they got is Vucevic. All Milwaukee got right now is Giannis.
Hey,
look pretty good to me.
Hey, you know what's funny? What's funny is it make it worse that we even in this series where you got a 7-footer being the guy who's the go-to scorer and a dude who touched the ball consistently 40 to 50% of the time, and we got a dog fight like this.
Today is you never want to put too much on one game, but today is I'm gonna watch. This is gonna be the first time I'm gonna watch Milwaukee today, and I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna watch the whole game, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna see.
Be ready, but you know what? Don't worry, y'all. Listen, y'all got to see how we break down basketball.
I'm gonna see because if this is a struggle today, even if they win and this is a struggle today, it just will further confirm why I think Miami will get them around too. This shouldn't be hard. Orlando is a real AC. A real AC.
I'm so upset with this man that he said a real AC.
They are real AC. Like they are a true AC. And real this life. Should not be this ain't So but let's get to go ahead, Myron. Then we'll get to this lotto talk.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the lotto, but let me just say this. This is what happens though when timing is wrong, on your team. You have this superstar and it's just bad timing. The guys that can be what you need are probably about 2 years away. DiVincenzo just needs more time. He's not ready right now. I think he will be. He's just not ready right now. He needs more time in the lab. He needs a few more failures, and he's going to be a great player. I think he's going to be a great 3rd or 4th option for a championship caliber team. I think he can do that. Like I said, I put him on the same level as Van Fleet, but he's just not ready right now. The other guys that you have that's supposed to be ready, they are who they are. And yeah, Middleton very well may have a 40, 50-point game out of nowhere, but it's not going to change the fact that he can't give Giannis what he consistently needs, which is, I need you to consistently find 20 to 25 points for me. And he just can't do it. Yeah. And Eric Bledsoe is who he is. He is a athlete that never knew how to master the point guard position.
Here's a question for y'all. How many times has Chris Middleton scored 30 points and you said, "Oh, I feel all 30 of these points"?
It was twice. It was one time.
It was a couple times, not often.
So why is Chris Middleton not putting that same thing when we talk about looting and a riot as we talk about with Jordan Clarkson?
He's not, because he is a fourth option and forced to be a second option. It's just not his fault.
He's a dude that, it sounds weird to say this, but his consistency is a weakness. Chris Middleton is gonna get, when Chris Middleton gets his 20 points, it's 5 points a quarter. 5, 5, 5, 5, and he got 20. Or 6, 6, 6. Now he got 24. He's not gonna have the 19-point fourth quarter. Or he's not gonna have the 20-point quarter. Like, damn, Chris Middleton is out here going nuts. You're just gonna like, damn, Chris Middleton got 6. Oh, he got 13 now. Hour later, oh damn, Chris Middleton had 24 today. His steadiness is a problem because you playing against so many explosive scorers in this bubble. So many dudes who can get points quick. Like, you look at Boston, Jaylen Brown, to me, who's most improved offensive game I've seen in the league. Jaylen Brown go for 15, 16 quick. Tatum go 15, 16 quick. We know Kemba can do it. Toronto, for as solid as Toronto is, we done watch Fred VanVleet go bananas quickly. Lowry go bananas quickly.
Shout out to Trav in the comments. He said he called somebody Michael Conley Jr. Then he said Chris game ain't meant to give that ooh and ah with his old school game. He said Chris game, but then he messed up right here. Y'all gonna see why he messed up. He said Chris Game fit the Spurs culture and demeanor. Trav, stop recruiting everybody for the Spurs. Don't nobody want to play for them slow folks no more.
Hey, Trav be tampering.
Tampering Trav. Yeah, he just Chris Middleton is running water.
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna listen. If we're gonna keep that type of energy, let's talk about the lottery. Let's talk about the lottery.
Okay, let's get to the lottery to close it out. So let's get to the lottery. So Minnesota has a number 1 pick. And I don't have the sources like Chris Broussard either. But I think if this whole Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell thing is real, you got the number 1 pick.
That's fun. Hey, that's fun.
You got the number 1 pick. You may never have this pick again. Y'all people can get into the salary semantics and all that. I'm just saying, if you are Minnesota and Cat and D'Angelo really want to play with Devin Booker, you might as well make a call, because you will never have the number 1 pick. That's my first thought. Second thought, Golden State is in a real interesting position with this number 2. And Ham, MJ have both been on a. If Anthony Edwards is the first pick, you take Wiseman. You don't really do anything crazy on the trade front. You let it rock and roll for a little bit. But those are my just kind of 2 initial thoughts. If you're Minnesota, you absolutely have to call Phoenix and say what's up. You say, hey, got this whole number 1 pick thing working. What's going on with what's going on?
Hey, big head.
Hey, because if you're Minnesota, and I'm gonna let y'all get this, if you're a franchise like Minnesota, you would have to eventually start piecing together young, exciting talent to build. You just can't be bad forever. You've got Cat, you've got D'Angelo. If Devin Booker really wants to play with them 2 dudes, that number 1 pick, yeah, you have to call him. You absolutely have to call Phoenix and say what's happening. Now, go ahead, fellas.
I'll go.
MJ, you want to go ahead?
I'll go. Excellent point Big Shot. Excellent point. And in the game now, in which, you know, it's pretty much hell bent on, you know, building teams around camaraderie, around chemistry. All three of those guys want to play with each other. And absolutely, you got to be able to see how serious they are, see if anything can be made. I will say this, though, with Minnesota. Minnesota is in a no-lose situation because Anthony Edwards, to me, as of right now, is a top 10 shooting guard in the NBA. Right now. He's that good.
I gotta get in the lab on dude now.
He is that good. He's so good that if Golden State had the number 1 pick, they said they were picking him. And you see all the guards they got. He's one of those can't miss dudes. He's really like that. Go ahead, go in the lab if you want to. Pull up the Kentucky game, pull up the Minnesota game, whatever game you want to pull up. He's that good. And he has an edge to him. He has a dog about him. He's really like that. Now, as far as Golden State goes, I'm back and forth on this because here's the dirty little secret that's going around in the drafts, which I'm looking at the mock drafts. I'm doing my research and reading up on what others are saying, which I don't take too much account into, but I take a little account into. And to be 100% honest with you, Wiseman might not be that good from what I'm reading. That's the dirty little secret that's going on. If you look at these mock drafts, he quietly dropped to 6 and 7. Quietly. Also, even if he is good, let's look at all the teams that have a great big and look where they're at right now. With the exception of the Lakers, who has LeBron with them, who else? Like Houston actually traded away their big and got better with a 6-7 lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, unless James Wiseman is coming in guarding point guards off the screen and roll, and like really just like you not scoring on me, unless James Wiseman is coming in here and is able to give you 20 points off the bus, it's just the need for running, jumping, rebounding bigs is not that as much as it used to be.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
It's just not a need for it anymore because the game.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
I mean, I can name all of them if you want. Willie Cauley-Stein, Jared Allen, DeAndre Jordan, Mo Bamba. We could keep going. Like the need for them, because now what everybody is learning is, you got to be able to hoop. Like all 5 positions have to be an offensive weapon. All 5. James Wiseman has potential to be what maybe a DeAndre Ayton is right now. He has the upside. But like the great Ron Anderson asked me, if you just bought a Chase Arena that was worth billions of dollars, are you looking to develop somebody's upside or are you looking to win now?
Right. And I think that's the catch for Golden State is that you got the brand spanking new arena. You got the Splash Brothers both on the other side of 30. So you got about, let's be kind, we got 4 years of this. We got 4 years of prime Splash Brothers left.
And if you get the right superstar, you could extend it to 6.
Right. Which is where the Giannis theory comes into play.
Because they have their blueprint now. You got to think, every time somebody wins their championship, they develop their own blueprint because it worked for them. Golden State's blueprint is very simple now. As long as we got somebody to counter Kawhi, LeBron, or KD, and allow our guards to win our matchups, and allow Draymond Green to be a mismatch against all those other bigs that I was just exposing, they're going to have a really good chance of winning a title. Just like LeBron has his formula. If you give me a top 5, top 10 player and surround me by shooters, I'm cool. That's his formula. You know, KD now has developed his formula by winning with Golden State. He's like, all I need is a point guard that's going to get his, but actually still, be a point guard. And you surround me by shooters and I'm good. Because that's what happened with Golden State.
let me get in here real quick.
What?
I like this conversation, and I want to really expand on this as the draft process comes up, because this the year that me and MJ gonna be in the group chat talk about all the players, because I got time.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you now, I'm gonna look at Edwards because I want to see exactly. I just want to see the whole package here, because it's a couple of games I want to watch. But the other part of this is, what if I said that I don't believe that big men are as valued in most of these teams because they don't guarantee winning, because we're playing in a guard era. This is a guard era. I mean, if you look at Boston right now, if you look at the top 3 seeds in each conference, right? Besides Big Spain, right? Besides Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, besides Brook Lopez, the top 3 seeds, Joker, besides Joker. The rest of these teams don't really employ some type of name brand big. Even Trill Trez is 6'7".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think if you have the guard play is what you're going to be looking for. So LaMelo Ball probably will go before Wiseman. I don't think Golden State needs necessarily a big man. They need a big forward. Insert Giannis. That's literally what they need. Because when they played that death lineup with Draymond, KD, Iggy, and the Splash Brothers, you couldn't switch. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do anything. KD was a 7-footer down there getting the rebounds. Believe it or not, he was helping close the possessions better than Draymond was at times because of his size and length. And then not only that, the help side, that caused KD to be able to play safety and come on from the weak side to block shots, being 7 feet. See, these are things that we got to pay attention to. So imagine Giannis in that type of system.
Yeah.
That's what he's tailor-made for.
I mean, he averages 7 assists with guys who ain't shooting over, what, 34, 35% from 3? Imagine how many assists he's going to average when he's driving. You got to help off of him and leave Steph or Clay open.
No. We just seeing that now. Imagine him in the high post area and Steph pass him the ball in the high post and run around him and come back around on a relocation. Look, these are the things I get to thinking about, because I'm thinking about 2 of the best relocated shooters and the best shooters in basketball, probably in history.
And Giannis ain't never had no team that moved the ball the way Golden State moved it.
Man.
Ever.
Hey.
Try to guard Giannis out of a closeout once he catch the ball going full speed downhill. Let's see how that work out for you.
Oh, no. I got one better. Try to guard Giannis when he passed the ball to half court and he passing it to Steph and he get to run the floor. And he get to run the Daniel son, sandy floor. I'm
telling you, man.
This looks so nasty.
Once again,
Giannis, don't do him like that. It's gonna be the Ronnie voice in the chat last night.
Once again, you know what raised my eyebrow about this draft is, like I said, you know, we got Anthony Edwards, you know, we got LaMelo Ball, you know, we got Obi Toppin. But the people that everybody raving about is the overseas dudes that I don't know nothing about, in which I'm gonna go in the lab and find out. They're raving about 2 guys from France, 6'5". They're both supposed to be point guards. They're also raving about a 6'8" guy from Tel Aviv.
Yeah, I heard about the Tel Aviv. The Tel Aviv dude, he's supposed to be mocked to Cleveland. And I'm always interested to see who Cleveland is going to look to draft, because Cleveland the last couple of years just been drafting guards on top of guards. And they've been trying to employ that Portland system, and I don't like it. But we just going to leave it. You know how that's your hometown and you always just wonder.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm looking like I don't understand.
I'm looking at the Bulls and I'm like, if y'all don't get Obi Toppin, boy, I swear to God. That's how I'm looking at them.
I'm going to say this about the Bulls with this 4. If Toppin is gone, let's say Toppin gets picked before
third. Let's say he goes third.
As much as Pops is annoying as hell,
you gotta take LaMelo.
Yeah.
I think LaMelo, if everything that we are reading and seeing on LaMelo is what it is, that's a thing.
That's that battle rap.
That's a thing. And especially in today's game, we talked about there isn't positions. They aren't too big. You get somebody at 6'8", 200-ish, and you can open the floor up with if his vision, his passing is what it's supposed to be. You just have to deal with Pops talking crazy. Because LaMelo might mess around and be the best player in the draft. And somebody gonna get him maybe lower than what it should be.
Hey, so, I ain't even gonna lie to you. You ain't lying when you say that, because when you watch Dude Who, it could get emotional.
The growth spurt when that growth spurt got him from 6'2" to 6'7", it was like,
that battle rap. But you know what that does? Because now, but this is why I like this conversation. This is why I like talking to basketball with. Y'all just make the whole game. The floor just opens up when you're playing with good guards. But but the thing is, think about it like this. I like what my guy Kobe White. I like what Kobe White brings to the table for the Bulls.
Yeah,
I actually think he's a pretty damn good hooper.
Yeah,
you put him with LaMelo,
right? And that's the thing. I think Kobe's gonna end up playing off the ball eventually.
Now, you know what?
He's gonna end up being off the ball, and Melo and Kobe is a real.
That's a problem.
Interesting backcourt for a long time with that length and that type of size and scoring ability. So
and ball handling ability. Remember we said the 15-footer and that ball handling, two very important things. Both of them got that.
And let's not take for granted the fact that they got the same dude who's the GM at Denver. Look at Denver's team. A lot of size, a lot of skill.
Yeah.
You really think he's not going to build that blueprint based on what he built in Denver?
Yeah.
So, who's the small forward for the Bulls right now?
It's Otto Porter, but his
Lionel Richie's son.
His contract about to expire, so whatever.
Lionel Richie's son is the small forward.
Stupid. I mean, and then you can always move Zach LaVine to the 3 because it's really in our positions for real anyway. It's not.
I think the Bulls got a couple pieces they got to a couple people probably got to get shifted around. I think it's kind of been proven that the Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter thing is probably not.
That's over with. Let's get that out.
Probably not it. One of them probably might have to go. But they're in a better position. I'll say for our Bulls fans out there, they're in a much better spot now than they've been in the last couple years. I know the record obviously wasn't great, but I think new GM in place. I think all the coaching names they've been linked with, I'm good with. I'm not unhappy with any of those. So I think if you're a Bulls fan, a little patience is going to be required because of how they've messed up the post Thibodeau era. But they're in a much better place as a franchise than they were 2-3 years ago.
I'm actually excited about what they got coming, mainly because the GM they got.
Yeah,
the GM was going to do right. I mean, he's a predecessor to Masai Ujiri, and if you're a predecessor to Masai Ujiri, you're already a friend of mine off bat. If you look under him, you already got my attention. So I can't wait to see what happens with him. I really can't. The only thing that I will say about the Bulls is, with the coach that you find, just make sure that it's focused on development, playing hard, playing the right way, and still not forgetting about defense. Because it's real easy to go the polar opposite, 180 degrees away from the previous coach that you had that was not really good in the locker room. Like Boylen was all about defense, but he an old school coach that can't relate to nobody.
Right.
So because of that, I can see them trying to get a uber player coach in which they're not going to make defense a high priority. I think Kenny Atkinson is a great balance.
Yeah,
I like Kenny Atkinson actually for that group. I saw what he did with Brooklyn when Brooklyn was supposed to be in basketball purgatory. He pretty much brought them out just off of training development and having them playing hard and shooting a lot of threes. And I think this team can do the same. So, I mean, like I said, the draft is not deep in general, but I feel like the right teams got the right positions to get what they want, which is going to keep the game competitive, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it does. It makes more than enough sense. But I think most of these drafts are not deep if you look at them. Right. It's always about 5 to 10 players that are good in every draft. The rest of them turn out to be either role players or players who get a rookie contract and they don't get much else after that. That's just the honest thing.
And that is I don't want to do this again, but that is the crime of Oklahoma City. that was the crime. That is why the Oklahoma City thing hurts so bad. When you draft that well, it's rare that you do that. And because you're right, Jerm, it's never, as much we talk about like, 84 and 2003 and 96. Okay. It wasn't like 11 all-stars in one draft. It's 5. In a great draft, you get 5.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're talking 3 or 4.
The only difference in them drafts you name is you got like 5 superstars.
Right.
5 superstars and 10 all-stars. That's the only difference. But the rest of them turn out to be good. I mean, we just keeping it funky. That's
I know. And when I say deep draft versus not a good draft, I'm pretty much on that litmus test. To me, like a deep draft is if you got 10 serviceable players, 10 to 15 serviceable players to me is a deep draft. It's a very deep draft. Moderate draft will be about 7. I think this draft you got about 4, and that's it.
Right. Well, what was the draft? It was what 3 years ago?
Out of 64. Think about that, y'all. 15 out of 64.
We talking about what 3 years ago when you pulled Bam Adebayo, John Collins, and OG Anunoby was 13 or lower.
Yeah.
So it's finding those guys.
And that was a deep draft. That was
a deep Tatum and such. So
all of them. They're going to be still good players. It's just people forget this is only their 3rd season.
Yeah.
They have time.
Yeah, Jason, boy.
Markelle Fultz still got a chance to turn into an all-star.
Donovan.
That's right.
Yeah, Donovan.
Hey, and just like Markelle Fultz still has a chance to be a good player.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and he's been improving and things of that nature. I mean, I just overall, man, I don't like the onus that some people just put on stuff. Just because you get the number 1 pick, my dude, that don't mean nothing. Just because you got a lot of draft capital in the NBA, that don't mean nothing.
Look at the amount, and if our people out there watching, go pull up any draft, the last 4 years, the last 4 drafts, last 5 drafts, and look at the amount of high picks who are no longer on the team that drafted them.
I'll even do you one better. Go look at the last 10 drafts and see the lottery teams. You'll start to see a pattern.
Same thing.
It's the same goddamn teams in there. So obviously, if the draft was really like that, they wouldn't be in the lottery no more.
Right. And certain mans ain't never in the lottery.
Ever.
And still. When the last time Toronto been in the lottery?
They traded all
10 years.
San Antonio, are they even in the lottery? Like
they are.
I think this is the first time San Antonio been in the lottery since like Duncan, ain't it?
98.
You know what that? But
they've been winning. So don't. We talk optimistically about the draft, because what the draft does is it gives teams that are trash hope, or the fan base of teams that are trash hope.
Shout out to the
hope. Yeah, it gives you hope, and it's almost like a Ponzi scheme, to be real, because you feeding on the bottom, on the pain and the suffering of people, and you're giving them a beacon of light saying, hey, we're going to give you this and it's going to be better. Well, how many people, that sell NutriBurst actually are millionaires for real?
And that's a great Netflix doc on NutriBurst, by the way, if y'all want to check that out one day. But you're right. Folks got it's people that got $10,000 in NutriBurst in their garage, can't just chilling.
I mean, you can't cheat the grind. Shout out to Damian Lillard. If you really believe in it, yeah, you'll make $10,000 on selling NutriBurst, but you probably would have made $10,000 selling something else too if you're just really good at that and you put the work in. It's all about the work. It ain't none of this shit is easy.
You can't cheat. You can't cheat it, man.
You can't.
Was DeMar DeRozan a lottery pick, y'all?
What's that?
Was DeMar DeRozan
he was a lottery, but he was
2009.
But he was like 09.
That was the Steph Curry draft.
So 2009. So it's been about 10, 11 years since they were a lottery team.
These folks won a championship with no lottery picks.
None.
Might win a second one. You might go back to back with no lottery picks. That's insane.
Zero.
Let me see. Who else is in? Who's another team that I was thinking about? I seen that with Toronto. Denver. Jokic was a second round pick. Jamal Murray was their last lottery pick, technically. Besides, Michael Porter was their last one. But before that, they had a stretch where they didn't go to the lottery.
That's that.
Matter of fact, when they drafted Melo in 2003, that started a stretch for them not going.
And for those who keep it score, Toronto does have a lottery pick on their team. They got Stanley Johnson.
Oh yeah, he don't. Yeah.
He don't play, but they do that.
Just in case they was keeping score. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all can have whack ass Stanley Johnson.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a very, very enlightening conversation. So you know what? If y'all down, we can actually put together a show where we can cover some of these players on the.
When we get to the October situation,
take your hand off your mic.
I said when we get to the October, we get close to the draft, we're gonna talk about it. Because even a draft that ain't super deep, it's always things to talk about. There always will be something to discuss about it. So we're gonna get to it. Absolutely.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to wrap up. It's about to be about 45 minutes before game time tip-off.
Hey, man. Milwaukee, man. Listen, man. After the game started 15 minutes, so we wrapping up perfect time. The game was 15 minutes. Milwaukee right now. To me in front of company.
Hey, I already told you what it is with Milwaukee. Either win or lose Giannis.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think Orlando might win today. I got a feeling deep down in my gut. If it's bad grits, it's bad grits. It's all right. But look, we just going to keep it real. I do not trust Milwaukee. That Vucevic matchup has been so tough for them. And it's to the point now where this man looking like Hakeem Vucevic down there. He over there, left shoulder, right shoulder. It's looking, Boosie, don't do him like that. It's bad. Oh my God.
Look, it depends on if Chris Middleton just have 30 out of nowhere because he known for it.
Man.
He's good for at least one game.
Hey, if he get 30 today and they lose, I just want everybody to understand that this riot that I said was looting and happening, it was real.
Listen, LA struggling with Portland is acceptable. It's Dame time. It's CJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's acceptable. The 08 Celtics struggling with the Hawks. There was some Joe Johnson action. Josh Smith. All right, that's okay. They probably shouldn't have struggled like that, but okay. There is nothing on the Orlando Magic that should cause these problems. There is nothing. Milwaukee, I'm telling you, do not make this. Don't make this difficult. You know your OGs, your teachers, your parents always tell you, don't make this harder than it's supposed to be. Milwaukee, don't make this harder than this is supposed to be. Don't make this. This is not difficult out here. Y'all making this harder than it's supposed to be. I'm gonna watch, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch today.
Man. When we close this live, we got about 5 minutes. We gotta have a 5 minute.
It's gonna be real interesting today. I can't wait to see Rod in the messenger.
Dude,
hey,
I'm telling you,
this stuff Rod is like pure unadulterated
dude, no, man. Y'all make this. This is an 8 germ. This
he already
germ.
right now.
Germ, listen to me. This is a real 8 seed, Germ. This is a real 8. This ain't no Fugazi Portland 8. This is a real 8.
Hey, no, this is serious because
this is a real 8. You know how you like in the tournament, Myron? You got the team that's the 16. They 16 the seed for a reason. Yeah. That's just a real 16 seed we playing today. That's a real one.
Like that's literally the 16th best team in the playoffs right now.
That is literally the 16th best team in the playoffs. They are number 16 by a wide margin.
Hey.
And they making this hard. Man.
I'm just gonna say, man, like I said, as we wrap the show up, man. Bruh, you ain't the only one, man. This man said a real 16 seed though. Like he not playing. I don't know what to tell anybody besides, man. We got to be honest about certain things, man. We got to be honest about these players. Regular season stats and statistics don't mean anything when the lights is the brightest. I don't care if you average 30 in the season. Most times in the playoffs, they're not gonna give you the same shots. That's what the regular season is there for you to lab and study what you do well. Y'all better understand that, man. Y'all better start understanding this stuff, man.
No, y'all need to. Hey, they need to be honest with Giannis.
Man. That's a new political campaign right there.
If I had
political refugee.
If I had Giannis' number, I would call him right now. And I say, look, you get these dudes half a quarter. If it ain't going on in half a quarter, your turn. Chris Middleton and them get a half a quarter. They got 6 minutes.
That's what Kawhi did with PG.
Yep. You get
Kawhi
6
gave him minutes in the first quarter.
You get him 6 minutes.
Get all the shots you want.
If this ain't going on.
No, seriously. Look.
You playing with these people? If I am not playing around. I got 6 minutes to figure it out.
Hey, look, you remember that? Y'all remember that thing at 94 feet when the dude had all them balls and stuff that was going on, pause. All of that stuff he was doing where it hit the top.
Yeah.
Big Shot sent the video message to the chat and said it was somewhere else that his wife or his mama said, "Hey, now you need to go and clean all that shit up." Hey, that's exactly what I think about every time I see Kawhi and Giannis got to clean up their team's SH. Every single time. You know what? Somewhere, somebody's mama or girlfriend told him to clean this shit up. It's bad. It's bad. And I'm telling y'all, I think Orlando may win today. I got a feeling.
Germ.
Big Shot, if they win today.
I hope it's bad grits.
I really do. I hope it's bad grits too. Because you know what I'm sitting here looking? I'm looking at how they came out flat in game 2. If they come out hitting that jumper, and Chris Middleton come out missing jumpers, and Bledsoe come out missing jumpers, ooh-wee. Ooh, Orlando, don't do them like that.
We about 10 minutes from tip-off, Milwaukee, Orlando. I'm telling you.
I'm getting some beer. I need some more beer for this one.
Milwaukee?
I can't watch this.
I don't trust you, but this is not what this ain't it. What's happening right now?
Hey,
this ain't it.
Look, I got some shout out to the kids out there, man. Drink responsibly. MJ, I'm with you. I got it all down there in the fridge. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm good, man.
This is not the show, man. This is not Penny Hardaway and Tracy McGrady out there. It's not.
Come on,
it's
man.
Not at all.
Hey, it ain't even Daryl Armstrong.
It's not even Daryl Armstrong
or Nick Anderson.
It's not even Jameer Nelson and Skip to my Lou.
Hey, he do.
It ain't none of that.
Kareem Lewis, Rashard Lewis. It ain't him. He ain't coming back through them doors.
Man, it ain't nothing like
Courtney
that.
Lee ain't either.
Damn.
All right. Milwaukee, I'm telling you.
Marcin Gortat.
Man,
but Vucevic better than Gortat though.
Oh, no, but we don't. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all coming out and rocking with us, man. We're gonna keep sharing this. We're gonna keep hitting it.
Absolutely.
We may be able to end up being on Periscope. Spoiler alert: we might end up getting on Periscope once upon a time. I'm hearing this
for sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. But
the troll game coming out for Periscope. I'm letting y'all know now. I'm trolling everybody. Y'all know troll guy coming.
All right, y'all. We're gonna let y'all get to these games. Remember, 94 Feet of Life if you're on Facebook. The Scene, THESCEN. Join the fan page. We definitely gonna start adding more content to that very soon. Of course, keep your notifications on. Subscribe to the YouTube because you never know when we jump on. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if Milwaukee make this ugly today, there might be a 3 o'clock session. There might be a 3 o'clock. There might be a 3 p.m. Central session today if Milwaukee don't do what's supposed to be done.
You might want to sign me up for that. If I ain't on video, I'm gonna be in the chat on that one.
Man.
Hey, if they lose, we only need 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. If the Milwaukee lose this game, it won't be long, but it will be effective.
Healthy. In my beloved voice, healthy.
Yeah. All right, y'all. 94 Feet of Life, The Scene. We out of here.
Deuces, man.